Good afternoon from a decidedly gray day here in Cozumel. I am just preparing to get off the island, head back to Playa, and catch a bus down to Tulum. Cozumel was a nice, relaxing few days. I didn't really do a whole lot while I was here, but it was just nice to kind of come and relax and check it out and eat at some good local spots. And I believe we're supposed to get some rain today at some point. Hopefully not while I'm sitting on the ferry, but if so, I'll just go downstairs, I guess. That's fine. And yeah, I think the next few days actually are supposed to be a little wet down the Tulum area, but that's why I have a rain jacket and a poncho, so I'm not too worried about any kind of rain. Anyway, let's head over to the ferry and head back to the mainland and onward to our second last stop in all of Mexico, Tulum. Just on the ferry here, and it is a wild ride back over to the mainland. We've been seeing mostly like between 4 and 8 foot waves pretty well the whole time across this channel, and yeah, it has been crazy, and it's starting to pour on top of that. So welcome back to the mainland of Mexico, I guess. Still pretty fun though, not gonna lie. Good afternoon from Tulum here in Mexico on a very wet day again. I got here yesterday afternoon, evening, and it rained most of the evening. And so far today it has rained most of the day as well. So my plans are to go and check out the Tulum ruins while I am here. And I'm hoping to do that tomorrow, as it looks like it will be at least somewhat drier day than it has been so far. At least it's warm, which is nice. So I can't complain too much, because I know most of Canada and the US are under snow right now, including as far south as Houston, Texas. I saw Mobile, Alabama was getting some snow today, and even parts of Florida. So I can't complain too much about the fact that it's 25 degrees here and rainy. So I'm just gonna go for a little walk here. I haven't had anything to eat yet today, and it's about 2 o'clock. Just thought I was busy working this morning on my video from Playa del Carmen, getting that finished off. And you can see I got my rain jacket on here just in case it starts up again. But anyway, for now, we're good to go. So let's go get something to eat and have a little wander down the road here and see what Tulum looks like. I should also add, I have a really funny story that I've discovered about Tulum and the tourists that are here, and the nickname that's been associated with them, called the Tuluminati. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. It actually looks like it's starting to break up a little bit. but it did that earlier this morning too, and then it started raining again, so we'll see what happens. Just gonna walk down here a little bit and check out this Charlie's place. I saw some good reviews on it there earlier. So I thought I would give a quick room review here in Tulum, where I've been staying. I'm here for 3 nights in total. Tonight will be my last night before moving on, but I wanted to give a kind of a quick rundown of this place, the price I paid for it, and all that sort of stuff. This turned out to be a great deal, in my opinion, considering the location. Right here in the middle of Tulum, it is about 3 minutes or 4 minutes on foot over to the ADO bus station, and about 10 minutes by Colectivo to the ruins at the end of town. So this is the Hotel Corazon de Jade. That's the name of the place. Jade Heart, I guess would be in English. And I got this through Priceline, actually, which was my first time using Priceline. I'd actually looked it up through Trivago, and they kind of search all the different sites at the same time, and this place came up with a price which I thought was excellent. I believe it was $38 Canadian per night plus tax, so it worked out to about $45 Canadian in total per night, and I'll put that on the screen here with all the relevant different amounts with the exchange rates. So when I booked, I actually booked a room with 2 double beds. And when I got to the front desk, they were like, "Hey, do you want one with a king size bed?" And so yes I would. So this very comfortable king size bed here has been good for the last couple nights. Had some great sleeps on it. There's some very good air conditioning up on the wall. TV here, which has both Disney Plus and Amazon Prime or Netflix, I believe. I haven't used it much, but they told me that was all included. A little workspace here with a bar fridge and a kettle, which has been nice. So I always carry some coffee with me. I bought these Starbucks instant coffees, which are fantastic when you're on the road, because you can carry like 40 of them and they weigh nothing, but they're great when you're in a pinch for some coffee. There's a large storage cabinet here for, clothes or whatever. Extra blanket if you were cold. I am not. Some hangers and things, so that's good. Bathroom in here is quite nice, I would say. It's got a nice custom sink here, lots of water pressure, and of course, lots of hot water, and a nice stand-in shower. All that good stuff. Lots of light. I really like the decorations in here as well. Some of it feels like it's, custom or whatever to the place. And then out here on the patio, I can not disturb my friends when I come out here. Oh, and they're gone. So this whole patio space is included with the room. Couple of chairs there, nice hammock here if you're interested in that, sitting area over there as well. And I have to say the Wi-Fi here has been fantastic. It has been lightning fast, and I was wondering why it was so fast, and then I see just on the outside of my wall is the Wi-Fi 6 router, so that totally explains it. But this patio overlooks a nice garden area down the back here. So it's been really quiet here at night, even though I'm right on the main road here in Tulum with all the traffic and stuff, as you've seen in other parts of this video. It has been super quiet here. I'm at the back side of the building, I think. I got a little turned around because you gotta go up a couple flights of stairs. But yeah, super quiet. Even now, like we're at midday and like you can't hear any traffic out there at all. And that road out front would be busy. Anyway, that's the room. Again, I thought it was a great deal considering I do almost all my bookings last minute. I booked this like 48 hours before I got here, so I thought this worked out really well. The price, the location, convenience to the bus station, all that stuff has been great. There's a couple of really great local places to eat just downstairs. The one taco place I showed earlier in the video is literally you go out the front door and turn right and it's right there. They only open later in the day though, so they're only around for like supper time and after. Yeah, they're right there. And then there's a couple of local places across the street. And then of course there's also lots of other tourist restaurants, bars, all that sort of stuff, all within like 30 seconds of here. Lots of ATM machines. The best one I would recommend, at least that I have found in terms of withdrawal fees and stuff, is usually HSBC banks. They seem to only be around 30 pesos for withdrawal of whatever amount. And there's one of those here at the 7-Eleven, which is just across the street and down to the right about 2 minutes. Anyway, that's all for now. Just wanted to give you a quick room review again. Put the details here on the screen, the name, address, price I paid, and yeah, highly recommend it. Staff are great. They come in and clean the room. Very friendly downstairs at the front desk. There's free water and free coffee as well down in the lobby. It seems to be available all day. Like I was up early and it was down there, and then last night I was coming back late and it was down there. So I think it's just around all the time. Thumbs up, really impressed. Would highly recommend it if you're coming to Tulum and need a place to stay downtown, sort of in the main area. This place fits all those needs. Today's been kind of hilarious. So I have left my hotel now 4 times today to go for a walk. And every time I go for a walk, it starts to rain. And then I go back inside, and then the sun comes out. And I was just sitting in there, and I was like, okay, it's finally stopped again. And, we're going to go for a walk, get some fresh air, maybe get some tacos somewhere. And I literally walk outside, and it's raining again. This is just, I get a kick out of it. It's not a huge deal. It's just funny how it's worked out that way. I've got my rain jacket, so I'm going to throw that on right now and go for a little stroll here. Maybe not too far if it's going to pour again, because when it rains here, it really rains here, and stuff gets pretty soaked pretty fast. So that's a bit better. At least I can keep the top half of me dry. Although now I'm going to be really warm because, it's sweaty and muggy and all that stuff. But whatever, who cares? It's fine. So Tulum. Tulum is primarily known for 2 things. One is obviously the ruins here are world famous because they're up on the cliffs overlooking the ocean, and they're very popular for that reason. There's a beach actually just down below the ruins, and so yeah, it's popular for all those reasons. It's got some really cool temples there. There's some really nice buildings to check out, and so yeah, I'm definitely heading there tomorrow regardless of the weather. I don't think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, or at least not as much as today has, so we'll see, but I'm going regardless. And the second thing that Tulum is famous for is what the locals have dubbed the Tuluminati. I've stopped here again for a moment under this tree because it is raining pretty heavy, but here we are. We're out in the rain now, so it's all fine. So, the Tuluminati, as it's known locally, is the name that's been given to all of the very rich expats that have come and made a home, temporary or permanent, here in Tulum. And it is very much a case of, from what I've read, and I'll post an article in the description below talking about this a little bit because I found it really fascinating, that it's apparently sort of the trust fund sort of crew, if you could think of it that way, from the US and other parts, who have ascended on here to sort of live this hippie sort of bohemian lifestyle, drowning in artisanal mezcal and ayahuasca and all those sorts of things, doing yoga on the beach and believing in like crystals and good vibes and all that sort of stuff. And Tulum has become ground zero for a lot of that, which I think is really interesting. And it's funny just reading some of the descriptions about it and some of the information about it, how much of a problem in some ways it's become for the local population. Because obviously when you get a large group of people like that coming here and living here, it makes everything more expensive for everybody else too. Pushes up the costs of places to live, pushes up the costs for food, pushes up the costs for everything. And so it's sort of a double-edged sword in that in one way it brings a lot of money to the city and for tourism and that sort of stuff. But then at the same time, that money then gets washed away by higher costs across the board. So it was really interesting to read about this, and I've known that gentrification is obviously an issue in a lot of places. I think as travel has exploded sort of post-COVID, that a lot of places here in Mexico and in other countries as well are really feeling the crunch with a lot of this new tourism that's popped up. And you can certainly see it here in Tulum. If I flip this around, like this main road here, it's just going full tilt and has been going full tilt all day. There's endless traffic here, taxis, rentals, colectivos, buses, motorcycles, everything, just nonstop. And walking up and down this road a little bit, and we're going to continue here in a minute, you really see how many stores and restaurants and things are specifically catering to foreign tourists to come here to the city. So yeah, I guess, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, yes, it's bringing new tourism money, but when you're having EDM festivals here that last 7 or 8 days, and the basic ticket is $1,500 for the festival pass, you're certainly excluding a large percentage, majority of the local population for events like that. And it really becomes an expat exclusive type of event. And there was the reason why I say that specifically is because there was an EDM festival just wrapped up here last week that ran like every night for 7 or 8, 9 days, something like that. And yeah, the basic ticket was $1,500 US, and then they had VIP packages and stuff that went up into the 5 figures for that type of stuff. And that's not uncommon here, from what I've read. That those types of things are pretty common here and happening more and more frequently all the time, and at a higher cost all the time as well. So, for me, as a solo traveler, I try to, not have too much long-term impact anywhere I go. I try to, I'm trying to stay not luxury hotels, and I'm trying to eat at local restaurants and just kind of, explore a little bit and have a good time. But I could never imagine coming somewhere and then dropping $1,500 on a ticket for a festival that, has no real value to it, I guess is the best way to put it. Anyway, that's enough yammering for me. I just thought it was an interesting thing that I learned about. I've certainly seen an increased presence of tourists and the like throughout the entirety of the Mayan Riviera, really starting from Cancun on south, but even before that in places like Merida and Valladolid, I was seeing a lot of tourists and stuff at those places too. But I mean, we're in sort of the peak spots here now for a lot of that stuff. It's a very dark and foreboding skies up ahead. I don't think that more rain is too far away at this point. I can feel another little shower coming, but so tomorrow we are headed about I think it's about 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers that way tomorrow, which is where the Tulum ruins are at the end of the road. Yeah, the rain's coming down good now. The ruins are a couple of kilometers that way at the end of the road, so we'll be heading there tomorrow. In terms of the town of Tulum, it seems all right. Again, it's very touristy, lots of tourist restaurants and souvenir shops and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I am just going to walk back this way. As you can see, there's lots of water starting to pool up here again. So I'm going to head back up. There's a taco place that I had spotted before I came to town. I saw it on the map and had good reviews and everything. Very local place. And so I thought I might try and get up and try that out tonight. But this trip is really convenient. I will say that, you know, everything's fairly close together. The bus station is right there across the street from me. There's the ADO bus terminal. That restaurant I had lunch at earlier today was just right there. And my hotel is 2 blocks this way. So I'll do a room review tomorrow as well. I'm really impressed with the place I'm in. And now I have to get out of the rain because it is really raining out all of a sudden. Welcome to Tulum in January. Just a quick shout out, that place was delicious. It is Taqueria Carboncito is the name of the place, and it is just up here on the main drag, of course, right next to my hotel, Hotel Corazon de Jade, which is there. And the taco place was here, and yeah, it was delicious. Really affordable, delicious tacos, fast service, all the usual things. Anyway, I'm just going to head back upstairs for now and get ready for the morning. Busy day tomorrow. More to come from Tulum here in Mexico, my second to last stop.